Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is for you. Oh my God, you caught me typing away, adding my notes to my notes to my notes. What a great day here in Windsor, Ontario, of course. I don't know if you're laying in bed right now, you're thinking about getting in bed, getting cozy, getting comfy with grandmama, with Fido the family dog, even Chester the cat. I don't know. What do you got? Maybe you got a budgie bird. You're hanging out with the birds on your shoulder. That's cool. However that resonates with you. Do not adjust your screen. Do not adjust your TV, your laptop, or your phone. We are live from the Static Planet, Windsor, Ontario's own, the voice of the paranormal, the voice for the paranormal. Windsor, Ontario's own. I like to say that twice. The paranormal voice. I, of course, am Michael John of Michael John Paranormal Ghost Stories. The man beside me is the man of the hour, definitely the man with the power. Oh, God, every day this guy is too sweet. Woo! To be sour. His name, of course, is Dale. High Spirits Quigley. Together, we are the paranormal voice. Dale, we are coming off hot from a week or so ago. We were at the MI Paracon, the hottest ticket in town, the WrestleMania Paracons, the 13th annual. They've already sold out VIP tickets to the 14th annual MI Paracon, and that's a whole other show in itself to talk about. We are going to be there live again. We've been very blessed to be able to be there next year as well. What a great location for so many reasons, relating to the paranormal A to Z, relating to the paranormal community, relating to the paranormal family and friends, of course. So many hugs, so much love, so much fun, so much laughter. You can't say enough, and so much paranormal. Now, moving forward, the next stop on the paranormal highway, as I like to call it, Dale, we are heading out to the one and only UFO Contact Convention. That will be in, of course, Houghton Lake, Michigan. That is September 22nd, 23rd at the Lakeside Resort and Conference Center in good old Houghton Lake, Michigan. Reads like the who's who of who's in the UFO world. Oh, my God. You got Andrea Perrin, Reverend Michael Carter, Deb White-Cobble, Bill Konkolowski, Mary Bassett, Brad Blair and Tim Ellis, Amber Rose Hammond, John E. L. Tenney. A little bit of everything there to tickle your paranormal palate. Dale, what are your thoughts? Oh my God, we're already chopping the bit. My bags are already packed, and it's a couple weeks away.
Absolutely. I'm already to head up to Holt Lake myself because, it's just the whole town of Holt Lake is such a beautiful place. The perfect spot to host us. I know our guests tonight live there on a full-time basis, which is absolutely beautiful. But yeah, no, I'm all ready to go. The Maya Paracon is in the rearview mirror. We had a great time up there. Look forward to next year, that's for sure. And like you said, they've already sold out of VIP tickets before they even announced a single guest. And that just tells you how hot this ticket really is. So, folks, if you're not already on the boat getting your tickets for next year, I'd suggest you do that very, very soon. But don't jump too far ahead though, because this next event that's coming up in just like a couple weeks from now, it is the next greatest event next to the Maya Paracon. In my opinion, this is right up there with the events that go along, and it's one of our favorites, of course. But yeah, no, we just want to say hi to a few people that are tuning in to our show right now. Bob and Chris, thank you for showing up. Our good buddy Mark, it's good to see you. Donna Roberts, it's good to see you too. It's going to be high sign. That's right. Yeah, no, what an amazing event. And I've been so looking forward to getting these two back on the show because we love them so much. It's always a joy to talk to our guests that we have this evening. But yeah, guys, don't forget, get your tickets for the UFO Contact Convention coming up in 2 short weeks from now. It's going to be another amazing event. And like you said, the who's who, the paranormal is going to be at this one too. And it's one of the weekends where you never know what's going to happen because our galactic friends and family are going to show up there at any time as well.
And that's right. If for anybody out there watching right now or watching the replay later, tickets, hotel information on the great guests, the A to the Z, as we like to say here, Shiki baby, rest in peace, A to the Z, Bubba, in the paranormal world. You can find all that information on the miufocon.com site. One more time, the miufocon.com site. Of course, it's got everything you need to know and then some about the Michigan UFO Contact Convention, September 22nd, 23rd, Houghton Lake, Michigan. Now, let's get on to our guests. They are the co-hosts of this amazing event, the 5th annual UFO Contact Convention. They are the hosts of Mystical Awakenings, their YouTube channel, which is amazing all in itself. You want to talk about amazing guests all the time. Oh my God. We're going to talk about it, of course. They're also co-hosts of the hit vodcast show, The Voices of Contact, which is every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, where they discusses, excuse me, a hypnosis regression that was recently done at the hands of the very lovely, very talented, very gifted Mary Bassett, who's also a very good friend of ours. Without further ado, let's get them on right now. Direct from Houghton Lake, Michigan, the very lovely Deb and Arjay DeRousse.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
What a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for coming on.
It's always a great pleasure to talk with you guys, hang out with you guys, because it's always a laugh. We always have great conversations. We were having a great conversation before the show. I think we should start something new. It's called the Paranormal Voice pre-show event, because we get talking about some really interesting stuff for sure. But before we get into any questions, we've got our very good friend Marty Nona Boss. She's hanging out with us, and Roger Blair hanging out with us. Thank you everybody for coming out.
Yeah, Nona Boss has been a big supporter of the Paranormal Voice. Really, really encouraging us to get our numbers up on the YouTube channel. She's a little more on the ball with that stuff as opposed to ourselves. But very encouraging, very supportive. Can't say enough good things about her and all the great people that are on the side right now, already saying hello, already dropping comments for Deb and Arjay and ourselves, Windsor, Ontario's own The Paranormal Voice. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Deb and Arjay, oh my God, we finally made it. We landed the ship on the show tonight. This is great.
Well, I got to tell you, we just got word this morning that a few scout ships will be in next weekend to prepare for the mothership to arrive on the 21st. So
nice.
We're getting excited.
Yeah. Yeah, so keep your eyes to the skies because there's lots going on. They're all getting ready.
Well, we got to get these storm clouds out of the way first, because I can't see them with the storm clouds.
That's their that's how they hide. They just get in the clouds so you can't see them. So
yeah,
right
they're pretty elusive like that, to say the least, right? They
Yes.
can come in so many forms, so many shapes, so many ways. I mean, unless even if you're woke to it, they're still pulling swerves on us. They are beyond intelligent for sure.
Right.
Absolutely.
I love it.
So, Deb and Arjay, here we go. We are just approaching the 5th annual UFO Contact Convention. 5 years you guys have been doing this. And I'll tell you, it is absolutely one of our favorite events to be a part of. So those who do not know, how did this all come about?
Well, it actually started 6 years ago. So this is year 6, but minus 2020, COVID. So it's the fifth event. It all came about kind of in a very extraterrestrial way. I had missing time in 2016. It was pretty significant. Had a sighting that was mind-blowing, and an hour and 9 minutes missing. And I knew that I had been downloaded with all kinds of things, because suddenly things were coming out of my mouth that I'd never thought about. And we were at the end of our paranormal season in the winter, and we were sitting at the table, and RJ said, boy, I'm pretty tired. I'm glad our season's over. We can rest for a while. And I turned and looked at him, and no thought in my mind, I said, but we're putting on a UFO con. And we both looked very shocked.
Yeah.
But it's amazing because I knew instantly who would be there, who I needed to contact, how it was going to go, where it was going to be. It was like it was already put into place. All I had to do was the physical legwork. So that's how it started the very first year.
Well, yes, that's kind of how it started. But I had been an experiencer all my life, and when I met her, my twin soul, I thought, something's missing here, and so I was asking the extraterrestrials to
Thanks a lot.
please do something to convince her, because she's going to think I'm nuts. Because all I'm talking about is UFOs and the extraterrestrials, and so I know it the initial one kind of freaked her right out, her missing time, but I'm thankful that it happened, because look where it's got us.
No kidding. I mean, and there's been so many parallels as well to your story. I mean, you guys, I can't imagine the abundance of friends, parafamily you've made in the community from doing this. I mean, Dale and I have been very fortunate to be put under your spell. No, I mean, there's so many good things to come with these conventions, and like Dale was mentioning, earlier in the beginning, this is one of the events that we look forward to above others, with all due respect to all the others. I mean, I had some very important things happen at the UFO Contact Convention. I mean, through one of your main guests, your main event guest, Andrea Perrin. And that's a whole other show to talk about right there for myself or for Dale, what she offers, the help she offers there. It's a very welcoming atmosphere there. You feel like you belong as soon as you walk in the door. You feel like you're a part of.
Yeah, we both feel like that they're helping us do this, and it was amazing, because our first one, we said, well, the first person we'll contact is Nick Redford, right? Mm-hmm. He said yes, and we're going, oh my God, this thing's going to happen. And I think people were like, everybody that we contacted said, yeah, I'd love to do it, and we hadn't even done it before, so it was new to us. And thanks to Mike Smith, our partner, who makes us look good and gets all the details and all the hard work that everybody puts in. It went so well, I couldn't believe it. The very first one, and we were all surprised and shocked, and we knew it was meant to be, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in some ways, I have to say I wasn't totally surprised, because everything I learned about a conference, I learned from Tim Ellis and Brad Blair and Steve LaPlante, UPPRS. Yeah. I've been going to Michigan Paracon all these years, and that was quite an experience for me, because I was always kind of a loner and a black sheep, and the medium and the nuts woman, and I never wanted to go where there were crowds, and I got talked into going there. And about an hour after I got there, I found myself sitting in the hallway crying like a baby, because I was finally home. I was finally in a place where people didn't care that I was, talking to dead people and all these other things.
That sounds great.
So, yeah. So anyways, they put on an amazing event, as you guys said. And they've been super helpful. Before we started this event, the very first phone call I made was Brad Blair. And I said, this came to me, but if you guys have any problem with it, I'm not going any further. And he said, no, we give you total blessings, and we'll help all we can. And as you guys know, Tim Ellis is our MC.
Yep.
Phenomenal. I mean, that man's voice.
Yes.
Yeah. And they are both speaking this year. They spoke, Tim and Brad spoke year 2, I believe it was. Yeah. And they're coming back this year to speak as well. So.
Yeah. And I
mentioned that. Go ahead.
I just like what I like about their team up there. They're into the paranormal, but they're into the team that we kind of work with, they're into everything, the UFOs, the cryptids, the ghosts,
it's all paranormal.
It's all paranormal.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I mean, it's at this, I think at this point of the game, you got to be into all of it because it's all relevant. It all intertwines, in my opinion. It really does. You know, I mean, you see a UFO up in the sky, all of a sudden you're seeing orbs floating around the forest. And I mean, these things are, you know, the size of beach balls in some cases, different colors, bright orange, like the eyes of a Bigfoot. Oh, you see Bigfoot. Could be yellow, could be green. Oh, you see a dog man. All of a sudden, all this is happening. Maybe it's even some paranormal activity. All because you saw a UFO, and there's like a ripple effect all of a sudden. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's countless stories about these happenings now, starting with the UFO.
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
It's all intertwined. It's like when that veil thins and opens up, we see all of it that's out there.
Yeah.
Right?
No, it's absolutely in it. The one thing that I truly do love about the whole conference scenes and getting together with like-minded people is also too, with that much energy that is coming about at an event, like it draws up other things, and it's always really good experiences for everybody. Like me and Michael John were talking on the way home from the Maya Paracon, and this year here, I don't know what it was, but the energy of the whole building was like on fire. It was electric. Everybody was in a great mood. Everybody was happy to be there. People were smiling, laughing. You know, it was like watching heaven on earth, just watching everybody get along, everybody having a great time. And you felt so good when you left there. Like we were on such a high driving home on a Sunday. It was like slept for like a week straight, and we were on like Red Bull energy.
Right. Right. Yeah. I'm always a little sad when I leave there.
Yeah.
As many people that go, what they have created is a huge loving family.
Yes.
Oh.
And yeah, I think that's why everybody is so happy. You know, when we're there, it doesn't matter what else is going on. We're all together.
You know, and I want to tell, you know, people that have never been to a conference like that, and they're kind of, you know, on the fence. I'll tell you, when you go to a paranormal conference, you're going to find out these people are the nicest people you could ever meet. Very cool, very, you know, very understanding, and we'll talk. And so, especially the Michigan Paracon up in Sioux, where everybody's available and you can talk. And and you guys are there interviewing people. It's kind of cool. So, yeah, if you're on the fence about going to a conference like ours or up there, I can tell you the people that attend those are very, very wonderful people.
Right. And the ones that, you know, like Michigan Paracon, I can honestly say, you know, there's nobody looking down on you. And I think you guys would agree with that. We're all equals there.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
There's multiple comments on the side, Dale, if you want to go through them real quick here so we can catch up.
We got Rhonda Hart saying hello to everybody. Hello to the beautiful Rhonda Hart. Looks like our buddy Jeff was just in the building, but he tapped out and said goodnight. But Nota Boss says when you get to hang out with your soul tribe and your fellowship with everyone, the energy is amazing. Yes. That she totally agrees. And and I mean that is like, it is like that same energy we have at the Maya Paracon is also the same energy at the UFO Contact Convention, which is also the same energy that you get that at the old mill. Like I said, it could be inside of a big, huge casino to the Lakeside Resort in Holt Lake there where this next event is happening. And I'll tell you, the energy is no different. And it's great. You feel so wonderful. It's like, because you could walk through the place and say, I got a third eye, and nobody would go, that's nice.
Right.
You're gonna get six other stories about people on their third eyes all the time.
Right, exactly.
You're gonna trigger a conversation. Which is how it should be. Now, you guys, there's so many directions we can go here right now. I'm going to go onto your guest list right now. Andrea Perrin, Reverend Michael Carter, Deborah White-Caldwell, Bill Konkoleski, John Tenney, Mary Bassett, of course, Brad Blair, Tim Ellis, Amber Rose Hammond. Let's start with Andrea Perrin. Let's talk a little bit about her for those that aren't familiar with her. Please.
Oh boy. I mean, what do you say about Andrea Perrin? She grew up in the Conjuring house. Her whole life was paranormal. The poor woman is paranormal. But what many people didn't know was that when she was growing up in that home and all of these hauntings and all of this stuff going on, she was also being visited and having UFO sightings.
Experiences, yeah.
And experiences. So she brings a lot to the event. She's there every single year. Just a very loving, lighthearted, open person who, when she speaks, she's a powerhouse. When she goes every Saturday night, well, she last few years did it Friday night as well, go out and sing in the ships. And again, she's a powerhouse.
People take amazing pictures when she's out there. So
many sightings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I got one. Yeah.
Yeah. So you might not, for some reason, they just show up on the camera, and there's been some amazing pictures taken for sure.
Yeah. And what's interesting, you say that about the photos. She says, "Shut your flash off and aim your cameras towards the sky and just randomly take photos."
Right.
And then you get some magic, man. You get some magic.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yes,
so now,
absolutely,
Reverend Michael Carter.
Oh, my brother Michael. I'll tell you, he's. We contacted him last year when he showed up. It was like we'd known him forever. It was all meant to be, like we've known him in past lives, whatever.
He's a regular on Ancient Aliens.
Yeah, it's a regular on Ancient Aliens.
Yes.
And a lot of other programs. And, he discusses a lot of the extraterrestrials in the Bible and the connection they have. And I tell you what, I talked to him for an hour this morning. He turned me on to this verse that I've got to go look at, and I don't want to give it away because I think he's going to bring it up in his talk.
Don't give it away.
But I'll tell you what, it just after reading it, it says that there's extraterrestrials here, so it's pretty amazing. He's just the nicest, coolest guy you want to meet. You've met him, and he's got a really unique sense of humor. We love the guy, and he's our true brother now. So he may be there every year from year on out, as long as we have this.
One thing I can say about all of the speakers that we've ever had and ever will have, because they are handpicked, they are all very down to earth, very loving people. And it's beautiful to see how they interact with all of the attendees who want to talk to them. And Michael is no exception.
Kind of changed your outlook, did it, Michael? When you heard him?
When I first spoke with him, yes, because during the contact convention, there's an opportunity. You guys grant all the guests there, everybody that's there as part of it, in the conference room. There's like 300 people, I guess, roughly, give or take a couple, but there was a lot. And Tim Ellis, the great MC that you have there running the show there, he's saying if anybody wants to share a story where they feel, or they're not sure, that they've had an experience with the Galactics, with an alien, etc., raise your hand and we'll come over with the microphone and you could basically be center stage here in the room and share your story. So I shared a story about a dream paralysis that I experienced. I've never had in my life. I'm 51 years old. A month and a half, maybe 2 months before the contact convention, before we went, I had this sleep paralysis dream. So I shared that story with a 6-armed creature that I saw. There's so much more to it. And the panel was, you guys, no one knew what the creature was. You guys were kind of past the mic going, I'm not sure what that is. Because there's so many, there's so many beings out there that are on the list, but there's so many that we don't know. And that's pretty much the gist of it. And Tim Ellis said, we're not sure what the being is, but Michael pointed out something very interesting. Michael John, he keeps having the dream. He's in the same place all the time, the same house. He's never seen it in his waking life. And that's what they do. They'll put you in somewhere familiar over and over and over. But there's little things like I have this candle, the candelabra and the doll behind me and the skull. And it's always in my dream. But then all of a sudden the skull's missing one time. As perfect as they are and as highly intelligent as these beings are, for some reason they miss things in these spots they put you in to keep you comfortable. So anyways, landing the plane on my point, Michael Carter came up to me after, shook my hand, introduced himself to me, and he said to me, "Michael, do you know you're an experiencer?" And I was like, stumbling my words like, "No, I am." Okay, all right. But you know, when Michael talks to you, or when Michael talks, that's an experience in itself.
Yeah.
To listen to him talk, you are on the edge of your seat. Every word he says, every sentence he says, pardon me, is literally a message. It'll blow your mind. He's incredible.
Yes.
Well, you know, his topic is going to be disclosure, the Bible, and transformation. So it's going to be pretty powerful. And he's going to point out a lot of things that I know are going to blow a lot of people's mind. So
yeah,
no, absolutely. Like that's the same with Andrea. When Andrea is talking, people are so tuned into what she has to say, because she's coming at it from two different realms, really. She's coming from the paranormal side and the extraterrestrial side. And to have the knowledge that Michael Carter and Andrea have, it's just overwhelming to listen to them. It is definitely two people I could sit there and listen to all day long, because they're just like, they would never say the same sentence twice. That's just how vast and how knowledge they have. And it's so good to be able just to sit there and watch the Michael Carters and the Andreas talk, because like I said, you're so entranced that you cannot walk away from an event like this and not believe that we are definitely not alone on this earth, because Andrea, of all the experiences.
Yeah, she has a special connection with the Galactic family, and she takes amazing pictures, and they seem to follow her everywhere. And
really? Yep.
Yeah, and it's pretty amazing. So we're just so blessed to have her, and you know, it's like I said, her experiences and the way she shares them, people can connect with that.
Yeah. Answering Marty, the Nona boss on the side, she's asking, when and where is this conference? Marty, this is at the Lakeside Resort and Conference Center in Houghton Lake, Michigan. That's September 22nd and 23rd. www.myufocon.com is where you get tickets, information. That's the place to do it. We would love to see you there, and I'm sure Deb and Arjay would. I'm going to catch up a bit on the guests. I'm going to throw a couple together, a few.
Is Deb, she from Canada?
No, Marnie is from
Florida.
Oh, Florida.
Yeah.
So in Michigan, we are right about smack about here, right there.
Perfect. There we go.
As RJ was doing that, I could just envision the conference center right in the finger point right there. Right. I was like, oh, there's a building right there. There it is. No, it's such and the venue itself is a character of its own, because the landscape, the scenery. I could see why aliens would love to come and visit that place as well, because it's beautiful and peaceful, and they could fly by and everybody be like, yeah, there goes another one.
Oh yeah.
Well, that happens all the time.
Tons of sightings here.
Yeah.
And yeah, tons of sightings. Also, it's known for Bigfoot as well, and you're also in the Dogman area as well. So there's a little bit of everything. Again, going back to that, 3 names: Deb White-Cobble, Bill Konkoleski, Mary Bassett, all members, along with you and Michael Carter, of that amazing podcast, The Voices of Contact. All 3 of those lovely people are speaking as well. What can you say about them?
Oh my gosh. I mean, what can't we say about them? They are so amazing. So amazing. We're blessed. Deb Cobble is actually a lifelong experiencer. She had some horrendous experiences when she was young that really affected her to the point that she contacted Bud Hopkins, and Bud Hopkins actually worked right with her doing regression work. And one of his books, Intruders, the character in that book is actually, he doesn't use Deb's name, but it's Deb and her story. And then it went on to become a series. And now Deb has written a few books on it. In fact, when she speaks at the conference in 2 weeks, that is what she's speaking on.
Yeah, and
the Intruders continues.
Yeah, so we've become, such good friends and a little tight knit family, and we look so forward to doing the shows. And it was a brilliant idea by Mary Bassett to.
It was a download.
To come up with this idea, because she is the regressionist.
Yes.
And thank God the regressionists have allowed her to play the recordings. Of course, we keep the names. Some people don't mind, like you didn't mind, Michael.
Right.
But most people don't want it out there, so we don't try to put that out there. So unless you want it, but right. You've experienced that. And I want to say before I forget that Michael is the voice of the contact when we had our show. When you hear him talking when the show starts, it's his voice. He does an amazing job, and I really appreciate it.
And Dale has done a lot of the artwork. So you two are just so involved. And it's beautiful that, Mary was driving to work and got this all as a download. And kind of the same thing as with me with the conference. She knew who had to be contacted. And you guys were a part of that. So,
and forever grateful. It's one of the neatest things, for lack of a better word, beyond
different.
Oh my
very
God.
Different.
Yeah.
It's been a hell of a journey, and thank you for including us to say the least.
Absolutely. But Deb is a perfect fit. Now, Bill Konklowski was, he was on the panel with us. His life got very busy. He's the state director of MUFON here in Michigan. And he has so many things going on, and it's summertime. He really needed to step away. And we just knew the perfect person to put in that spot was somebody who's had experiences like Deb. And Deb Cobble actually has been with MUFON. I don't think she is now, but she spent many years as a MUFON investigator.
Yeah.
So, she knows her stuff, and she's an experiencer, and that's what we need on that show, because it's all about connecting with experiencers and helping people get through these. We spent years, people would have experiences like this, and they were terrified, and they couldn't talk about it because then people would think they were crazy.
Right.
We want to normalize that a little more.
So I see your listener says regression scares me. What are the thoughts? You're still in control. You have to understand that, right?
Yes.
Right.
And I want to put that out there. So
I'll have to take it off of that.
Right. So I want to. There we go. So you're still in control.
I love this woman. We've got to meet.
Yeah, still in control. There's no. It's just it helps you remember things that your subconscious, turned off and doesn't want to remember.
I can tell you that I have been doing regressions for about almost 40 years. But when it comes to my experiences, I have been terrified to be regressed. But
really?
In all honesty, yeah. I mean, I've decided I'm going to do it. Why not?
Me too.
But in all honesty, it is something that you have to know in your heart that you're okay with it. When I had an experience at one point and talked with someone from MUFON, he told me, when I brought up being regressed, he said, now you be careful. You're liable to remember things that are better left not remembered.
Whoa.
And I mean, he terrified me. So, I didn't do it. But if I don't know what I'm dealing with, and I can tell you guys, I can tell her, part of this show has really proven that many people who have had experiences and have this stuff in their mind and they're so afraid, once they are regressed, they seem to embrace the experience. They find out it wasn't as scary as what they thought. Memory is erased to protect us.
Yeah. Matter of fact, it really helps them out. I mean, it gives them more disclosure, more understanding what's going on. So there's no more questions about, well, I wonder really what happened,
Right.
And so when you come out of regression, we find that 99% of the people are glad they did it.
Yeah, no, and to answer Marnie's question too, I know me and Michael John have both been regressed by Mary, and yeah, it is kind of nerve-wracking when you go under because you're not sure what's going to happen, but like you said in the end, you feel so much better because for something that's probably held you down for so many years, gives you clarity, openness, and also too, it goes with choosing somebody you're comfortable with.
Oh, God.
Because I think a lot of people that I've talked to about regressions, their number one concern is, well, what's this person going to do to me while I'm under? Well,
Right.
if they're a professional, they're not going to do anything.
No.
They're there to help you. That's all they're there. They're there to help you to kind of understand what it is that you've experienced and how to let go of it because they show you all of this. And so it bottom line to that is, for me, was Mary was somebody we've grown to know and really cherish. So why not go with somebody you truly trust and to do this? And I would do it again if I thought that I had another experience. I think between you guys and Mary, you guys would be the first person I would turn to again, because me and Michael John did have something that happened to us earlier this year, and you guys were the first people we reached out to, and we felt so embraced. Like I wasn't sure, we knew you guys for a while, but it's like, you never know what people's reactions are when you're like, well, this has just happened to us.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
So,
I just told Mary I know where you live, so.
no, that's awesome. And, but yeah, no, like I said, for anybody who's thinking about it, contemplating about it, absolutely. I mean, there's nothing to be afraid of. I mean, the only thing is you're going to get closure to whatever happened to you. So,
Right.
I don't know if Michael John has more to answer to that, or.
Well, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to comment on Marty real quick here. Marty's on the side. Marty said, I've had experiences, Marty Nonabas, but had one a year ago that left her with missing time. So I'm on the fence about it and how to find someone you can trust. She also says, that's exactly it, Dale. Laughing. Thank you all so much. And Marty, I just want to say, Mary Bassett, if I can recommend anybody, I would say go to her. That's who I did it with a couple times now. Dale's worked with her as well. She's great. You don't have to be there with her. She's been able to do it through not social media, through
Zoom.
like a Skype or a StreamYard, whatever, like that. Just through video messaging. There you go. I was trying to find my words. But yeah, she's great like that. So now, what Dale was saying with the results and how you feel after. I was still nervous after because we're just peeling the layer of the onion as it stands right now. The short version from what I'm going through, and Dale and I both last time, like you did, Marty, earlier ago, and we definitely reached out to Deb and Arjay. I remember there was moments in the vehicle, shoot, good almost 5 minutes, maybe a few minutes more. We didn't say a word to each other. We were both in our heads, just, trying to figure out what the hell happened. We lost about 20 minutes time, then finally, oh my God, call Deb and Arjay is what we did. You know what I mean? But
well, the thing about it is, they're on a different frequency in a different dimension. And in the fourth and fifth dimension, the time is different. So if you're taking if they take you there, and then you come back into the third dimension, it's going to feel like you've missed some time because time is different on those levels.
Right.
You experience time in a different way.
20 minutes could be a long time.
Yeah, it could be a very long time. It could be,
right.
We don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like a good example. If you're with somebody and you're resonating with them and you're talking, and all of a sudden you look at your watch and it's 5 hours later, you've been in a little higher dimension. A little time was different. You didn't realize that 5 hours it went by into third dimension.
Right.
It seemed like only a few minutes.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. So we have to understand that time is different in different levels of existence.
And I want people to know, come to the conference because Mary will be there speaking.
Yep.
She will be doing a Voices of Contact panel. And on Saturday, she will be doing a live regression.
Yes.
So everybody can see
gosh.
how this works and
Yep.
see that it's not really anything to be afraid of.
No.
Right. Now, just a quick question now. Now, this just popped into my head. I don't know why I've never asked this question before, but now everybody who has an experience, does everybody lose time?
Good question.
Well, I want to say yes, but it's just depending how it's done. I mean, so you can be you can be somewhere else, and then all of a sudden, the next thing you know, you're back and nothing's changed. But once you start remembering and experiencing what happened, you realize that there was something to do with time that it changed. I'm trying to make this so you can understand it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's different for every person. And I think that oftentimes, and we've talked about this on the show, our physical self is not taken.
Right.
It's our consciousness, our soul self. So we don't,
Most
not everybody has like, oh my God, 20 minutes went by. Most of the time, even if there is missing time, you're not even going to know it.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Wow.
that's hard to answer. Does everybody have missing time? I think it varies with every single experience.
I guess what I'm trying to say is not really missing time. It's time was different where you were at.
Yeah.
And
Right.
you know it because
Right.
you look at your watch and an hour ago it was a different time, and that so in this dimension something happened where time slipped me by. Yeah.
With my last experience, I was not aware that I had missing time until 2 days later. When I got home that night, it happened while I was driving, and I just ended up back in my driveway. I ran in my house and I sent a message to Beth Gilmer, a teammate of ours. And I knew what time my sighting was because I looked at the clock. I didn't know I had missing time until I went back 2 days later to reread the messages that we sent back and forth. And it was, an hour and 9 minutes later.
And she only was 3 minutes away from the house where it happened.
Yeah.
She pulled her driveway. For some reason, it was an hour and 8 minutes from that time she saw it to when she got in, and she thought she just got in automatically right away and went in and messaged Beth and found out it was an hour. She doesn't remember that.
Yeah. Had I not sent messages, I would have never known that I had missing time.
Yeah. Of course,
So now we were talking about when you talk about missing time, this is similar to, and you wrote a book, Worlds Beyond Death, correct?
Yes.
That's the name. Yes. And that's available where if someone wants to buy that book? Now they've heard a little bit about you too.
It's available in our store, Mystical Awakenings in Houghton Lake, Michigan. It's also available on Amazon. and it's available at any event that we work.
Now, let's compare missing time to death, if you will. And we were talking about this backstage. Okay, so death in the soul. I mean, it's out-of-body experiences, astral travel, remote viewing, missing time. In your opinion, is all this the same? Is it all relevant?
Oh, absolutely. Our consciousness is what we are. We're not this stuff right here. This stuff here. We are a consciousness. We are a soul. That's our energy. That's our awareness, and that does not cease to exist, even though our bodies do right now. When the technology comes that way, we don't have to do that anymore. That'll be nice. But anyway, yeah. So it still exists out there, and it exists in vibrating at a different level, a different frequency. I say in the fourth dimension, whatever. And that's, I think, as we are raising our awareness as the planet, this whole ghost thing that's been going on for the last 20 years is because we're seeing this consciousness, this ghost, these things that are vibrating a little faster because our awareness is vibrating faster. So we're starting to see more. As we get into the fifth dimension, we're going to see things that blow your mind, that exist in that dimension. So if it happened right now, you would see things in the street or around you that, you would, where did that come from?
Terrified, probably.
I look at Dale's poster, and that's kind of what we'd see. A little bit of everything out there.
Well, we even got Deb and Arjay on our poster because we look up to these people so much. It's like, how do we pay homage to two people who have really embraced us and helped us along our journey to a lot of understanding and more importantly, like, they welcome us into the UFO family, like, with open arms, and we're truly grateful. Like I said, this conference, you walk in with questions and you walk out of there with so much knowledge because everybody there, it's an open book and you can talk to anybody about anything, whatever's on your mind, and nobody's going to look at you strangely or any, like, you just feel so welcomed. Just want to say a quick shout out to One. Thank you for joining us, One. But yeah, no, like I said, it's the really amazing and everything that you guys are doing for this community, the UFO community, and bringing all these experiencers together, and so that people like Michael John and myself are not nervous about going to it and telling people our story.
Yeah, we have a little thing. We put some maps on the wall at Michigan and Canada, and I saw some Canada that must have been your guys's because it was down by Windsor. Anyway, and the United States. So everybody gets to mark where they have it, saw a sighting or something. It's pretty cool. I was counting them yesterday. It was 240 in the last 5 years that we've had, and that people have put down. So think about that. It's pretty amazing. And like you said, Michael and Dale, that we have a panel where you get up to tell your story. And then one year we had a gentleman that was 70 years old. He says, "I've never been able to talk to anybody about this." My heart went out to him, and he told his experience, and it was amazing. And he felt so much better to get that off his chest finally after 70 years, or whatever time it was a long time. So yeah, it's our conference is a little different. We do have some nuts and bolts in there. We like to bring that in. We had Cheryl Carter and people that bring the nuts and bolts about the sightings and the amount and what's going on.
Costa.
Costa. And Cheryl Carter was there too. Yes, another lady.
Cheryl Costa does.
So anyway,
the statistics.
Yeah, the same names. So anyway, it's amazing. That book's right here. So.
Take it out.
And they go into great detail about all the sightings in the United States.
Oh wow!
And
what's that called?
It's called
UFO Sighting Death Reference.
Yeah, and they got it down to the zip codes.
And
wow!
Look at this. Wow. This is only one of her books. Look
Really?
how big this is. It's huge.
That's a phone book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean,
And she rates the states about sightings, and I think California's one, but Michigan is number 9.
look at this.
Wow.
We've had-
Holy
I mean,
Yeah, Michigan is
Holy-
number 9. So
there's numbers and there's graphs and there's, I mean,
Wow.
it's amazing. Yeah.
so, you know, the people who think, oh, these crazy people just saying they had UFO experiences. No, ufology goes way deeper than that. There's a lot of science in it. There's a lot of real, true researchers who
Yes.
really do the work. And Cheryl Costa, bless her heart, I love her to pieces, but she's one of those people that'll say, okay, you know, so you say out of 5,000 sightings, only 10% we can prove. But how many is 10%
you
of
only need to prove
5,000?
one, right? You only need to prove
And
one.
isn't that enough proof?
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
you know, it's a good way, I think, to think about it because it's real. It's real.
We have a new speaker this year called Amber Rose Hammond,
Yes.
and she is from Michigan, and she does a lot of work talking about. She's got some books out, right? And and she talks about the paranormal in Michigan and
The mysterious happening.
yeah, mysterious happenings. So we're excited to hear her what she has to say. I'm not, you know, we got to see her for the first time speak up in Michigan Paracon, yeah. And then I don't want to leave anybody out before we have to go here. Did we leave anybody out? Of course, John Tenney's going to be there. We don't know whatever he's going to talk about. He doesn't. He can talk. He can talk about anything, and it'd be amazing. So
Yeah.
Every year he
Oh my
never
God,
titles his topic.
Yeah.
I got to tell you a
Because
story. I got to tell you a story. The first year we were up on stage, and I said, "How many people had experiences here?" They raised their hand. How many people have seen this and that? And I said, "How many people of the CIA here?" And there was one gentleman back in the doorway. He was waving his arm, and guess who it was?
Tenny.
Yeah. Now, would that surprise you if he was? You know, it wouldn't surprise me that if he was in the CIA, because this gentleman is he is a gentleman of gentlemen. I'll tell you, he knows a lot about a lot of stuff.
Yes.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
Good point. I never thought of that, RJ, but if anybody could be, it would be.
Yeah, it could be him.
Like-
You know. I wouldn't put anything past John. I'll tell you that.
Well, we
Oh my
can
God,
tell
right?
you, we know that some of these people show up.
Yes.
We have even had the Men in Black, a couple of Men in Black,
When Nick Redford was there talking
suddenly
about it.
show up in the audience and then disappear.
We don't know how they got in.
Wow.
We don't know how they left, where they left to.
We have people at the doors.
So people were talking to us. Did you see us? Yeah, I did see them. And
Nobody saw them come or go.
So did they
Incredible.
zap us? You know, they do the put sunglasses on and zap us. I don't know. So
No, I
Well, if
remember
one
Andrea.
person would know, it would be John Tunney. He
John
would
Tunney
know.
would that,
And that's what Andrea Perrin was saying on her talk. I remember that's where that kind of brought that to light to myself, personally speaking. And I know Dale's been to a few of your conferences, so that was my first one last year. And Andrea mentions, before I go on, look around you, look around the room. There could be galactics right next to you right
Yes.
now. They look
Yes.
like us. You don't know who anybody is. I guarantee you there's CIA, maybe even FBI
Yeah.
in this room. They all know who you are. They all know you were coming.
yeah. And Michael
And I'm
Carter
just
said
like,
that.
What?
Yeah, Michael Carter said that
Wow.
they're watching you. They're watching us.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they
Yeah.
and you know it's for national security, whatever they.
Of
wanna
course,
call
it's not that
it. Yeah.
it's mind blowing to hear. I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Right.
If you're at the UFO Contact Convention, you're all
Yeah.
about all that stuff, and
Yeah, they're going to
certainly
come.
you shouldn't be surprised.
That's
like I
right.
was.
This
You're
is,
part of it.
yeah, no, John Tunney is probably the only person that makes me believe in this world that every time I walk down the street, I look at everybody and try to think, are these people real or are they just a figment of my imagination right now?
Yeah,
So, yeah, it's,
a real poncho or a Sears poncho. I mean, that was a
yeah.
famous line by Frank Zappa.
So each and every year, you guys always bring together the best of the best in the field. I mean, you have your usuals, the Andrea Perrons, the Michael Carters, but you guys always find like really amazing speakers to kind of make the whole event well rounded. It's not just about UFOs when you go there. You learn about everything. The Bigfoot that's crossing the road as we're talking. Everybody runs outside to see.
Yeah, we had
Ronnie LeBlanc.
Ronnie Blanc there.
Oh God, yeah.
A few years ago, and
last year.
last year. I'm sorry.
Yep.
And he, he's a firm believer that there's connection there, and I am too. So a lot of people then. What was that?
ET's talking.
Did you hear that?
What?
What was
Yeah.
that?
Wow.
I
Dale,
heard
did you
something.
hear that?
You're gonna have to play that back and let me know what that was.
Yeah,
that was a deep voice that came from a mechanical something. I don't know what
That was interesting.
Yeah.
Did anybody else listening to the show right now hear that? Please in the comments let us know, because that was wow.
That would be awesome.
Oh wow! Thank you so much.
We would love
That's our good friend Mark, who we met. Was it last year, Michael John? Yeah, this year.
I can't wait to meet Mark. I
At
feel
the
like I
Body,
need to hug
Mind,
him.
and Spirit. Who was it? Candace Isaacson, who has been Candace Isaacson and Exie Susan Bruce Smith were holding a Body, Mind, and Spirit convention. I hope I'm saying it right. I kept butchering it. Where was that, Dale? Please help me out here.
Oh, it's in Oxford, Michigan. This at the beginning of this year.
Yeah,
it was an absolutely amazing event. And that's where we had the pleasure of meeting Mark, and we got to talk to him, and his story just floored us about his experiences. Yeah,
he's a starseed, this gentleman, and
nice.
And
can't wait to meet him.
I've stayed in contact with him. Him and I talk on the phone. And whenever I'm kind of feeling, going that way, I've called him. And Dale knows within minutes, I feel like a brand new man. It's pretty incredible. And that's, anyways, Nona Boss, Marty's saying, yes, she heard it on the side.
Yeah.
Well, this happens to us all the time when we do the Voices of Contact shows. We get Morse code, but you can hear it in the background. Where you get all kinds of voices.
Every show we have something. Something crazy happens.
That was amazing.
Yeah. You guys heard it, right?
I heard something coming through, and it was just like, am I hearing what I'm hearing? And then I'm glad RJ said something, because I was like, man, I hope I'm not the only one.
So it was about 8:54 it happened. So
8:54.
8:53 or something like that. So
okay.
Anyway, the last 5 minutes or so.
Yeah. So before we allow you beauties to go back to your comfortable little couches, and please fill us in once again all the details about the UFO Contact Convention.
Oh, all of the details. It's at the Lakeside Resort and Conference Center in Lakeside, Houghton Lake, Michigan. Deb Can't Talk, September 22nd and 23rd. All the details. There's so many that some that I haven't even put out yet, but you've all been hearing about all the speakers. You can find tickets and all of the info on miufocon.com. You can go to Ticket Leap and type in Michigan UFO Contact, and it's there. You can look up Michigan UFO Contact on Facebook and find it there. Look up Deb Johnson DeRousse and find me. I'll answer any questions. I just want to say that it's a very loving event. We are all one. There is no ego in this event. And I think it's really important to anybody that is thinking, I need someone to talk to know that they can come there. They're not below. Nobody's above. We are all one.
No, I have to say that all 3 floors are sold out at the conference center, but less than 3 minutes away, there's 2 other hotels that have rooms. And American
American Inn and Suites and Super 8. And there's
right
more
around,
down the
right
road.
around the corner. So
Yeah.
literally 3 minutes away. So
Houghton Lake is the largest inland lake in Michigan.
it's a beautiful
So
sighting.
there's, and the hotel is, you
Sighting.
walk out back and the lake is there. And that's where Andrea calls in the family. There's always sightings every single year. We also have 2 ley lines that cross right through here. One goes up the main highway, the other comes through the lake. So it's almost like an X right where the lakeside resort is. A lot of people will tell you it's like walking in the 5th dimension because it's all love, it's all light, but you get lost. It's not a huge hotel. We don't want a huge venue. We want to keep it.
It's 3 stories. It's got its
But
own
people-
restaurant, bar, and
Yeah,
and a pool.
has everything you can want.
Yeah.
But even Andrea, who is there every single year, talks on her show all the time about, I get lost. I go down the elevator or go up the elevator. I don't know where I'm
I
at
make the wrong turn.
because I'm not in the 3rd dimension.
Right.
Yeah.
No, absolutely great venue, great place, and the food is amazing. Like
Really?
for the food that we had that place puts out, I'm like, it is absolutely amazing food. We can't wait to get back there. I hope everybody who's been watching the show today gets on the horn, gets their tickets, finds a hotel nearby, or come in an RV and sleep in the RV.
Yeah.
But it is definitely one of the places to be in the next couple of weeks. You don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss out being around these amazing speakers and meet new family members.
Yes.
Yep. Everybody
Yeah.
becomes family for sure.
Thanks for having us on, guys.
Are you kidding? Thank you so much for taking time for us. I mean, and I say this, we've been very #blessed, thankful, grateful for the simple fact, every time we've had guests on, every episode has better than the last, and this is no exception. You guys leveled us up again. Thank you so much, Deb and Arjay DeRousse, the co-founders of the Michigan UFO Contact Convention, the 5th annual. Congratulations on number 5, by the way.
Thank you.
That will be held at the Lakeside Resort and Conference Center September 22nd, 23rd this year, 2023. All ticket information on the speakers, and then some at www.miufocon.com, facebook.com, /MIUFOCon. 5th annual. I can't say enough to the TPV Nation, the creeps, the freaks, and the weirdos that allow me and Dale to do what we love, and that is this right here, right now. Thank you all from day one to day now, everybody, everywhere. Because of you, we get to do this. So with that, we will see you all on the other side. But in the meantime, and in between time, happy hauntings.
Huntings.
Peace out.
Happy huntings. Love you.